What's up, family? Man, I'm gonna have a heart to heart with you guys today. Last night I had the privilege of watching a movie by the name of I Killed Giants. I Killed Giants. I was watching something else and that universe guided me towards this movie, told me I need to watch it. So put it on, checked it out, man. Saw it on, it was on, what was it on? Just regular YouTube. Um, Interesting movie. Interesting movie. It's a trip because so many of us, that's where we're at. We're in that movie. Stay with me, we're going somewhere today. So the movie is about this young lady who's dealing with some stuff and she doesn't know how to handle it. She's handling it the best way she knows how, I'll put it that way. But then there's a twist to the movie. You know, the twist is that, man, movie starts out, her sisters preparing dinner and cooking and doing all the motherly duties. Brothers are sitting there playing video games, just lost in the games. And then there's her, dealing with reality. Her dealing with the real stuff. And I don't think too many people caught that. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. So you got the older sister who's taking on the role of mom. The movie starts out, you don't know where mom's at. You don't know what's going on with moms. You don't know where dad's at. And so the older sister's caught up in her emotions. She's caught up in her feelings. She's caught up in the responsibilities of being the oldest and having to do all the things she was doing before and then being mom now. The two brothers are completely lost in the video games, just completely distracted with shoot 'em up and bang bang you're dead and all this other fictitious shit that they deal with. You stay with them, going somewhere. And then there's her, dealing with the giants. Her, being the only one capable of seeing the giants. The only one capable of defeating the giants. And the trip is, this sister is trying to help the young girl. She's doing everything she can and she's losing it. The sister, the older sister, the responsible one, the mature one. Her life is spiraling out of control. Because she's trying to do all the responsible things. She's going to work, she's doing this, she's doing this, she's trying to take care of the household, she's trying to be there for her siblings, and her life is spiraling out of control. Because she has her own issues, she has her own quote-unquote demons and giants and monsters that she has to fight. But she's so caught up in life, the responsibilities of living. She don't really have time to process her pain, her struggle. And then the boys, they're in la la land. They're dealing with their stuff the best way they know how, and they're dealing with it through distractions. They're dealing with it through the internet. They're dealing with it through killing these people on the video games. And the trip is, as I was laying there earlier this morning, God woke me up about 3-something, bringing a bunch of stuff to my mind, talk to the people about this. So many of you find yourself as the sister. You're in a relationship right now, whether that's with your older kids, whether that's with your significant other, whether that's with your parents. You're the older sister. You're not trained to deal with certain things, but you're doing your best. And your life is spiraling out of control. You're at your wit's end. You don't know what else to do. You've done everything you know to do, and it's not working. You're beyond confused. You're beyond broken right now. Because you're trying everything you know and it's spiraling out of control. Because you can't fix it. You're not trained to fix it. You're not even trained to deal with it. You're the sister. And it seems like no matter what you do, the problem doesn't get any better. The situation isn't getting resolved. Because it's not your job to fix it. It's not your job to fix them. See, I resonated with this movie because I've tried to be Mr. Fix-It. I've tried to fix people that I was never intended to fix. I wasn't even qualified to fix. I wasn't even qualified to try to help. I've been the older sister. I've been the brothers too. But then I became the older sister, trying to fix everything, everyone, trying to make everybody's life better. There's a psychologist at the school, a school psychologist, played by Zoe Saldana or something to that effect. And here it is, she's an expert. She's trained. She's supposed to know how to fix these situations. She's supposed to know how and have the training, the intelligence to help people in this situation. But she can't fix this girl. She can't even reach this girl. So many of you're the trained psychologist. You got the training, but you still can't reach that person. You have the experience, but you still can't reach that person. You can't help somebody who don't want to be helped. And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard lesson to learn. I can't help those that don't want to be helped. And they don't even realize that they don't want to be helped. I've had to learn this the hard way in life. You can't help people that don't want to be helped. No matter your intention, no matter how much you try, you can't help somebody that don't want to be helped. And it's a few days ago, a young lady, Yummy Stew, or something to that effect. I apologize if I butchered your name. Sent me a message. And she's telling me about dreams that she had as far as fish scales. And so often, fish scales and dreams represent something that you don't want to see. It's just a metaphor. It's covering your eyes. It's covering reality. It's stopping you from seeing something. What is it that you don't want to see? What is it you don't want to be real about? I kill giants. See, the giants in this movie represents, or is a metaphor. See, the young lady's mom was sick and dying. And the young girl didn't know how to handle that. And so the metaphor became, my mama's sickness is a giant that I have to learn how to kill. This giant is coming to take away something that I value. This giant is coming to take away something that I love, something that I cherish. And I'm not ready to let it go yet. Oh, we're going to set. We're going there. I'm just laying the groundwork. So the giant in this young girl's life was her mama's illness and her mama's impending death. And the girl struggled with this. And so she took on this mentality, I gotta rescue the family. I gotta save the community. I gotta save the town from this giant. But she wasn't trained. In her mind, she was trained. In her mind, she was the expert. But she came towards the end of the movie, she came to the realization, dang, I can't fix my mama. I can't make my mama better no matter what I do. I can't stop the sickness. I can't stop the fact that she's going to die. I love my mama and I don't want to lose her. But I can't stop the inevitable. See, so many of us, man, God, so many of us are holding on to dying relationships. The person is still alive, but the relationship has run its course. The relationship is sick and dying. And there's nothing you can do to fix it. There's nothing you could do to change that. The relationship is on its deathbed. It is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And that's completely out of your control. I don't care how much you cry. I don't care how much you fast. I don't care how much you pray. It is what it is. And it's going to be what it's going to be. You can't fix that. You can't fix that. It don't matter how much training you have. It don't matter how little training you have. Your job is not to fix other people. Your job is not to fix things that you aren't intended to fix. See, that's the struggle. How do I know if it's my purpose to fix this? How do I know if it's my responsibility to change this? I gotta at least try. And you try and you try and you try, and you end up breaking yourself. You end up losing yourself because you're trying to do what wasn't intended for you to do. I've been that little girl. I've been that little girl my whole life. Trying to save my mama. Seeing my mama bleeding and dying and screaming, and there's nothing that I could do to fix her. There's nothing I could do to console her. There was nothing I could do to make the situation any better. As a 2-year-old boy, I'm watching my mama die right in front of me. And then I see my aunt getting beat by her husband. And I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to help her. And as a 6-year-old boy, I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough. stop her husband from choking her, to stop him from beating her. Yeah, I've been that little girl. I've been that little girl where I'm watching my wife dying from breast cancer. No matter how much I prayed, no matter how much I talked to God, no matter how much I cried and pleaded, I couldn't change the inevitable. I couldn't fix my wife. I couldn't make her pain go away. I couldn't make cancer go away. And I watched her pass away. I've been that little girl in other relationships, trying to maintain my marriage, and my kids' mama just packing up the kids and leaving. And no matter what I said, no matter what I did, it wasn't going to change the inevitable. No matter how much I pleaded, no matter how much I prayed, no matter how much I cried, I couldn't change the inevitable. I couldn't stop her from leaving and trying to hook back up with her ex-boyfriend. Why am I talking to you guys about this stuff? Because we have to grow up. And that's a painful lesson. That's a painful part of life, is coming to the understanding, when there's certain things that I can't control. No matter how good I am, no matter how loving I am, no matter how giving I am, I can't control somebody else. I can't stop somebody else from doing what they want to do. No matter how good I am, no matter how loving, how supportive, how nurturing I am, I couldn't stop my wife from dying from cancer. What are the giants you're facing? What monsters are you facing today? What are you dealing with psychologically today that people don't really understand, that people can't really see? So often what we do in life is, man, when we're facing something, we make it to be this huge monster, this huge demon. And it terrifies us. It scares us. Because we see how vulnerable we are. We see how helpless we are. And many of us, we're terrified of being seen as vulnerable, as being seen as weak, as helpless. And just like this young lady, she put up this persona of being tough as nails, not afraid of anything. She wasn't afraid of the school bully or any. That was the persona that she put out. And then she got her ass kicked by the bully. She got beat up by the bully. And that began to crack her, the girl. That began to change things. Every one of us, we're going to fight and try and do whatever we can to fix, resolve whatever we can. But then there comes a moment in time where, just like this little girl who got her ass kicked by the bully, and she wakes up and she sees her mama's room door open. And no matter how much you try to deny and change and shift shit, there's a crack. There's a moment in time where reality slaps the dog shit out of you. Where reality comes in and sets in, and you have to see it for what it is. You have to see this dying relationship for what it is. You have to see this chaotic situation for what it is. You have to see this toxic ass relationship for what it is. There's a time where the truth can't be hidden anymore. You can fake the funk all you want to, but there comes a time where you have to acknowledge the truth. You've been dismissing it and minimizing it all this time. But there's a time where you have to see it for what it is. And this girl at the end of the movie, she sees it for what it is. She couldn't stop her mama's sickness. She couldn't make her mama any better. She couldn't stop death from coming. And that was a hard thing for her to deal with. And here's the trick. She had to see it on her own terms. What do I mean? Her sister with all of her love. Her sister trying to be the mother figure. Her sister trying to be the oldest and the protector. Trying to keep the family together. Couldn't help her little sister to see and accept reality for what it was. The psychologist couldn't help her. Couldn't help her. With all of her extensive training, couldn't help that girl see reality for what it was. She had to go through the work. She had to fight her demons. She had to fight her monsters. She had to face her demons and her monsters. On her own terms. This is what God is saying to you. You can't stop these people from fighting their demons. You can't stop these people from running from their demons, their monsters, their giants. You can't make them fix the problem. It don't matter how much love you have. It don't matter how much training you have. They're going to have to face their demons demons, their monsters, their fears, their insecurities on their own terms. On their own terms. You could be there as an emotional support for them, but don't lose yourself trying to save them. Don't lose your life trying to save their life. Deal with your own shit. Love them. Be there for them. Understand you can't fix them. You can't make the situation any better. You could make it a whole lot worse, but you can't make it any better. We have to grow up. We have to face our own giants on our terms. I've lost so many relationships trying to help people face their giants, trying to help people overcome their giants. And I felt like a failure. I felt like a loser. I felt helpless. And that was the lessons that I needed to learn. I'm not here to fix the world. I'm here to love the world. And sometimes that's hard for people to accept. That's hard for people to embrace. That you can love them with all this shit going on within them. That you would be willing to be there with them and for them. Not judging them, just there to nurture them, to love them. That's their issues, that's their monsters, that's their demons that they got to deal with. And they don't understand, how could somebody like you love somebody like them? How could somebody like you want to be there for somebody like them? There's nothing you could do to convince them that you love them. There's nothing you could do to convince them that you're not judging them and that you're not against them. That's their giants, that's their monsters, that's their demons that they got to deal with on their own terms. Don't lose you in the process of trying to fix what you can't fix. I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you. Happy healing. Peace.